G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Do you know your ABC of how to tell a story? Tell me more, tell me now. If you don't know, then let me tell you how. Hi, welcome back to ABC of Storytelling, where every week I share a tip, trick, technique or little secret from my story bag. My name is Rituparna and I'm the founder of Your Story Bag, a storytelling, training and consulting company that works with varied audiences. This series especially goes out to all parents, teachers, aspiring storytellers, or rather anyone who's interested in the art of storytelling, especially ones who are interested in telling stories to little children. Okay, so what do I have this week? This week I have lots of eyes popping out of my story bag, and I have got tips and techniques and little secrets for parents, for teachers, as well as aspiring storytellers. So keep watching this video. The first I is for parents out there, and the two I's I have for you is inherit and initiate. As a storyteller, I think I go back to my childhood, which was surrounded by stories and books, because my parents, my family, my father, my mother, my grandmother were voracious story lovers and book readers. So they always told me stories. In fact, when I was a little kid, I would not go to sleep without listening to 2 stories and 2 songs every night. And quite often, on many nights, I would trick my parents into believing that I have gone off to sleep, and they would have to come back again when they would find out that I've sneaked out of my bed. They would come back again to put me back to sleep, and again they would have to tell me 2 new stories. So that's the way I was. So I think I've inherited my love for stories from my parents, and my love for books is also something which I've inherited from them. The second I is initiate. Your household may not be the ones where reading and storytelling is a very natural process, but it's very good. It's a good idea to bring about a certain change or bring about a new activity that your whole family looks forward to. So maybe initiate the love for stories at the home at the first step. As parents, share little stories about your childhood, about growing up in the city that you have grown up with, little stories about your parents. These little stories initiate a love for stories and memories and growing up and childhood with a child. So no matter what is the age group of your child, I'm sure the world is changing so fast. The world that you grew up in, the city that you grew up in is very different from the one that your child is growing up in. So therefore, sharing those little stories, initiating that conversation about stories and about memories and growing up is a beautiful way to connect with your child. So go ahead and definitely try it. The next set of I is for all teachers out there, and this one is about influence and impose. As a teacher, you already hold a powerful position in the classroom. You have a lot of influence on children, so use it responsibly. When picking up stories, always be aware of how the story is unfolding in a child's mind, what is the meaning that the child is deriving from it. So sometimes even a harmless story gives the wrong ideas to children. For example, in one of my workshops, I had a teacher bring me a real incident from her classroom, where she said that when she was telling the story of 3 little pigs in the class, a little child came to her with one simple question, which is, why are those 3 little pigs, who are obviously little, being asked to go out of their home and build a new home for themselves? It's a very valid question for a young one to ask. And remember, when you're telling a story in a very harmless way, you think it's a nice, cute little story about 3 little pigs being eaten up by a wolf. It may not evoke any thoughts or questions in a child's mind. So therefore, remember, as a storyteller, as a teacher telling a story, your influence on a child is so great that you have to be able to answer their queries. You have to be able to measure their response or their expression and handle that well in the classroom. The second I is, of course, impose. Never impose a learning after a story. Never tell the child how they must interpret a story. Let it be open for interpretation for the young ones. That is the beauty of the story. In fact, you should be able to inspire them to think, to imagine, to ask questions, to understand how does a certain character make them feel, how does the story make them feel, what do they like in a story, what they don't like in a story. So never impose a learning or a moral or a lesson. The third set of eyes that I have is for all aspiring storytellers out there. A lot of young storytellers, or the ones who are newbies or newcomers, tend to watch a lot of senior storytellers, whether in India or abroad. You tend to watch their videos and try to imitate their storytelling styles, the way they stand, the way they move their body, the way they use their voice. You may be so inspired by a certain storyteller that you don't even realize that you are very, very unconsciously imitating them. So I would really, really recommend this to all aspiring storytellers out there. Take inspiration, take ideas, take new suggestions or tricks or techniques from storytellers by watching their videos, on YouTube or anywhere else, or even watching them live. But never, never, never try to imitate them. Try and derive your sense of your own style of storytelling, because that is what makes you you. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed these tips, because like I said, these are going to be lots of eyes popping out of my story bag for parents, teachers and aspiring storytellers. Thank you for watching this series. Come back next Sunday, and thank you for all the little ones who've been watching my video and have been telling their mums to tell me how much they are liking it. I know there are lots of young children who are watching this video. They are singing the ABC song. I've got some of your audio clips, and I know that this series is inspiring you to tell stories. So great. I didn't imagine that this video series is going to reach out to children in such a big way. Thank you so much. We are very happy that you are inspiring the next gen of storytellers. So go ahead, happy storytelling, keep telling stories, and spread a lot of happiness and joy. Until next week, tata, bye bye, and happy storytelling. Da 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 di da 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 da, ba di da 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 da.